I'm here to make a video. Guess who's back? Back again. Sorry. Okay. So, I am starting a new series. Hopefully it'll stay and keep going. I don't know what the voice I'm doing is. Just don't know why I'm spinning that. So, I am going... That's my knee. I'm wearing shorts. Can't pull them. Anyway. Itch. Okay. Words. Okay. So I'm just going to make some videos about fandoms. I'm not going to go in depth about what I'm going to do, and because every time I do, I go off on tangents, and, well, this is like the fifth or sixth or seventh time I've tried to record this. And I know I will have sound because I have a mic here, and it can pick me up over here, which is so nice. Because partially I'm loud. You can ask my family, my brother in the room next to me. And two, I just like talking. Pen. So, the little overview is just going to be talking about what a fandom is, like the definition. I actually Googled what the definition is on Google, just out of my own personal curiosity. And I don't agree with it at all, because it's not what it is. At least not to people part of fandoms. It's not this. So according to Google, the definition of a fandom is the state or condition of being a fan of someone or something. No. A fandom is a community, is what it is. It's not a state or condition. Like, that would make, instead of making us fans of something, which is the state or condition, it's the fandom. No, the fandom is the community, the family, depending on what show, or whatever it is, whatever media, or whomever you're following. And so there's so many different things. There's the fan art, there's the fan fiction, there's the fan vids. Yes, we're bringing those into it. If you want me to, I will do reactions when I learn how to record videos. What I'm watching, that I'm reacting to. So y'all can see it. Because it's funny as hell to me to watch the videos and just react to them. I will watch ones I've watched before because I love them so much. And, like, they always make me laugh, usually. So, and I want to do some readings of fanfic as well. Anything spicy. And yes, I'm being Bill Hader as Stefan right now for doing the spicy thing. Because I'm weird. It'll be on Twitch because I don't trust myself to do it on YouTube. I'd rather do it live than record it, because I have a harder time being more into a story when I'm reading it out loud, I've noticed. Also, so I just looked over at my TV, and I just Dean in a chair tied up. It's the episode where we get to see glimpses of Bobby and Rufus doing the exact same hunt that they're doing now. Sure. Hair. Anyway. But yeah, and so it's something I've always enjoyed and I like doing. And I might do videos about fan arts that people have. And all that jazz. And I might do an entire video about just the different tropes of fanfiction, or the different tags you might find on AO3. Because for the most part, I'll probably be doing AO3 readings or Wattpad readings, because I do have stuff still on my Wattpad. Oh god. There's some old stuff on there that I haven't read in a minute. There's shows I don't even watch on there. I just know about them from friends or actors or content creators I don't really watch anymore. We better not. I may also read some stuff off Kotev, because I know I got stuff on there that I have not read in a minute. But yeah, no, so we'll be doing that. So whenever I do stuff like that, I'll be talking about the pairings and ships and all that jazz as well as talking about those tags. So you're going to be hearing what they're about. And if I do read a tag you guys don't want to hear about, just don't watch or do anything with that video. Like if there's like one tag that is a no, it's a hard no for you, don't watch or react or do anything with it. Just leave, because if that's an issue for you, I don't want you in the comments or anything bashing it, because it might be someone's comfort. It might be something that keeps them calm, because there are people out there who prefer the hurt comfort or the angst stuff because it gives them comfort in their souls, versus stuff like fluff or something like that, because it's so unrealistic for certain things. Like, there are some times when there's fluff in a scene or something is just too fluffy that I just... Well, okay. Let me rephrase it. See, nothing is too fluffy. Okay, fluffy is not too fluffy. We all know this. But something that's just too good to be true, truly, in a scene or in a story, I have a hard time believing, because it doesn't give reality. Yes, and I know that's not the point of these shows or books or whatever media it is or whoever it's about. But it makes it harder for the reader to get immersed. That's why reader inserts are not as common anymore in writing fanfiction, but on TikTok they've become common again in a way. If that makes sense, with the POV series a lot of people do, which I will actually talk about one of those. I absolutely couple of creators I really enjoy watching. They both do a lot of Loki stuff. I just realized there's one I haven't watched in like a minute, and I need to find her again because I really liked her videos. Because she's the reason why I got into the POV stuff. Also, my legs are cold. I'm wearing shorts. So, it all started with a Doctor Strange POV. And then I ended up delving into Loki and Bucky. Together or separate. I'm dumb. And stuff like that. So I might talk about a lot of stuff. And we're definitely going to talk about certain, like, in each fandom I might look up fanon stuff for them, just because that's a big thing, is fanon. Harry Potter, I feel like, is the worst about it. And yes, technically one fanon type thing became canon via tweet, but we don't talk about that tweet. Like, it was obvious. We don't talk about that tweet. Alright, oh god, Disney's gonna be its own thing. Disney is gonna be a nightmare. And yes, I'm just doing the princess as a general thing for Disney. Because yes, I'll be doing all the Disney princesses and all that jazz. I'm terrified for myself right now because of it. Is there anything else in the first notes? Okay. Whenever I do Avatar: The Last Airbender, I will talk about the movie that doesn't exist. Just because it needs to be talked about. But there are other things that we'll talk about. One big thing that I've always found weird, and I understand why they call it slash, and I do. I don't like that they separate male slash and female slash by calling male slash, but to separate the between, they call it femme slash. That's something that I'm like, it's slash fic. No matter how you look at it. You're looking at the names of the characters for the slash fic. Slash fic is slash fic. That's why a lot of times you don't hear it called that anymore, I feel like. Because I honestly, for the longest time, I never called it that. I just said, oh yeah, it's a Dean and Cass fic. Like, that's the ship. And so, just some thought, just a thought. If you guys are anything you want me to talk about in like an overall like fan fiction video or certain things about that, let me know. I would love to talk more about it. So in the next video, I will be talking about some of my original characters I have for some of my main fandoms. And yes, I'm going to go back to... Oh god. I will have to take some quick notes. Or... Oh god, yeah. Because I do have a couple of... Oh god, I have a few of them that I need... There's a few I need to work on, story-wise. And so I need to go ahead and do that sometime soon. And all that jazz. But yeah. And I will... So it's not just going to be fandoms as in media. It'll also be content creators. And I'm specifically sticking to content creators who make content like... That have like characters within content. So... Sandra sides will be a big one I'll do. Markiplier is another one I'll do because he has different, as the fans have called them, egos, and his own Markiverse, as I call that. I don't know if anyone else calls it that, but that's what I call it. So that would also probably bring in Sean and Ethan, Bob and Wade, maybe, depending on how many other little characters they've played in them. So... But stuff like that. I have a feeling that if I did one specific content creator, based off everything that's been going on with him and all his crap, best way of putting it, a lot of y'all wouldn't like it. However, I may still do that person's. It just depends on if I feel like it's needed. If I do, I don't know if it will be on this channel, because I know my boyfriend wants to make a political channel. I may ask him if I could do that person's videos on his channel, and I may let him do a video too on this channel, just because it'd be fair. So I don't know. I'd see if that happens, because he wants to make a political channel. But it's just... I remember how he used to be, and at the time, didn't think any of it. But as I got older, I'm starting to see a lot of what he used to do was stupid. But again, I am not defending any actions. I'm saying that right now. A lot of what he did was stupid. However, that's not what I say is going to sound like I'm defending him. We live in a weird time. If that makes sense. Because, yes, we need to be kinder to each other, and we need to realize when we've made a mistake. However, there are too many people who are being called out on stuff when things are being taken out of context, I feel like. Because I feel like that's a big thing too. Is that there are people who are saying stuff about others without any context, and people are having a harder time finding that context. But then the people who, like me, who prefer to hear all the sides of stories, makes it harder for us to have an opinion. So overall, there are people who we probably shouldn't still support, or people we should be supporting, but because of context, we don't know the full story. But I just wanted to... Also, just because I'm posting this after all the stuff that's been going on, it's the one and only time I'll get political. Unless it's absolutely necessary for me to be political on this channel. I don't want to be. But to whatever Gen Z members or member decided to dox, get the credit card information, IP address stuff, and all that jazz for the Supreme Court justices who voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Know all what you did was illegal. Please know that. But also understand that that is freaking amazing. Because I have a feeling it's not anyone on the older side of Gen Z born between 97 and 2004. It's on the younger side. 2005 to like 2010. It is the younger part of the generation. Like, literally, so I was on TikTok and someone said that the theme song for Gen Z is Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. And I'm thinking, Yeah, even us on the older side are impressed. Because I'm technically I'm an elder Gen Z. Because I was born in the year 2000. I'm part of that weird group of people that is too old for a lot of what the Gen Z did, but too young for a lot of what millennials went through. I am a millennial. So anyone who is part of that era, I know I've seen a lot of it, and I know a lot of millennials and Gen Xers are like, yeah, no, Gen Z's terrifying. Let's go. Because it's amazing. So, I would try to avoid talking about politics in my videos, and I will. Unless it's absolutely necessary like that. And it's frustrating. Because we live in a world where... We live in a country, I shouldn't say a world. I should say specifically a country. Where even the founding fathers nowadays would be disappointed in what's going on. Because they did state that the Constitution should be changed I don't remember how long, every so often. I don't remember the length of period of time. Please let me know in the comments, because that is what's true. Is we should not be living by a constitution that was written which has almost been written almost 300 years ago. Because there are so much. We've made amendments to it for this reason. But because of those amendments, a lot of them are being changed. And there is always a theory of that empires fall every 250 years, after 250 years. We're nearing that point. If the US falls, it falls. And the people who get pick up the pieces are the younger millennials. Basically, younger millennials and younger. And yes, we'll have the elder millennials and Gen X and some baby boomers around who want to see the change, who want to help us rebuild. But it takes more. It takes a village to raise a kid. And so, those of us who have a harder time finding a voice within anything that goes on in their personal lives, we turn to worlds that we wish we could be part of. The fandoms that we've been part of, that created a family that we could feel at home and at peace with. And yes, there are some people who are part of fandoms who actually have a pretty normal and decent life. I am one of them. But I choose to isolate myself because I'd rather be alone. I've always been that way. There's no particular reason. Just I like being. I don't like people. That's a nice way of putting it. I really don't like. I do and I don't. People are annoying. But people I've met because of my fandoms, I've made some of my best friends because of it. My best friend Alex, we met at a birthday party, and then we became really close friends that year during school, and we ended up calling each other Sam and Dean. Because I was older, I'm Dean. Wait, it was so funny. It was funny. I'm Dean. He was Sammy. But in reality, he's Jensen. I'm Jerry. Well, shouldn't say necessarily that. Food-wise, I'm Jared. I eat a lot. I do. I have Gushers and fruit snacks out there right now. And I was also wearing a lot of beanies. I like beanies. So, that's where that comment came from. But, because of that friendship, I made a lot of other friends. And I made a friend because we were in health class in college, our first year of college. She was sitting behind me, and we were allowed to have our laptops out to take notes. That's why I took notes. I was also writing Steven Universe fan fiction. Yeah. And she, as we were packing up, she just kind of looks at me. It's like, "Are you?" After I turned around, she's like, "Were you writing fan fiction?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we started talking and became friends. But it's stuff like that. You may be part of one. You may have to live one way around family or your community, but around your true family and true people who you know care about you, you know you're fine. And I say true family and true people who know who you are, because those are the people you are able to be yourself around. That may be your family, that may be your community. That if you're able to, that's great. They are part of the true, but there are people who are part of your families, or of everyone's families, and we all know it. Or communities that will not approve of who you are, of who you want to be, of who you love, or any of that. But the people who you've met, or the friends and family that you have that do love you no matter what, and the people you've met because of whatever you're a fan of, that is all you need. Those are the people you need to be with. Not these people. Family don't end in blood, but it doesn't start there either. We are all human. We all make mistakes. But remember, we always have to keep fighting, and we are not alone. So, I want you all to remember one thing, if it's all you take from the video other than what I'm doing now. Didn't mean to get serious, did not mean to talk about political shit. It just ended up happening. That's who I am. Run fast, laugh hard, be kind, and stay nerdy. Whatever being nerdy means to you, be that. Understand. Be yourself. Whether that's a nerd about shows, books, games, movies, whatever it is. Or you're a nerd about math, science, English, stuff like that. Be who you are. And know that no matter who you are, you got me. Whether that's me as a friend, me as the girl who has a weird obsession with talking about fandoms, or stuff like that. Or just a weirdo on the internet who you saw one video of. It's like, they seem pretty cool. You are you, no matter what people say. You know you better than... No one knows you better than yourself. Sure, there are sometimes you don't know who you are, so you ask. But if you ask and someone gives you an actual direct answer, they don't ask you questions, they just give you an answer, ask them who they are. And watch them try to figure out who they are. Because the minute who you are is questioned, you think, like, who am I? I'm a dork. Oh, my boyfriend's gonna kill me. He calls me a dork and I don't agree to it, ever. Like, if I call myself a dork, I mean it. But if he calls me a dork, I say no. Anyway. But when I hear that question, or it's like, who are you as a person? Like, who are you? Who is Allison? I'm a girl from Oregon. Born and raised. And I just like watching TV. I watch TV, I like writing, I love singing, I love music, I love just being creative. But that's what I do. That's not who I am. Because who I am does not necessarily have to be who you want me to be. I could say, and I can tell you, I am panromantic demisexual. Or as one of my friends calls me, a pandemic. I call him Bimor, it's fine. But that's what I am, not who I am. So, I want you all to answer one question for yourself. Who are you? And if you want, I will leave my DMs open for you guys on Twitter. Because I think mine should be open anyway. And if you have questions about how to answer that question, feel free to ask. Because honestly, I don't know who I am. I know what I am. I don't know who. I know my name is Allison. I know I'm a girl from Oregon. But what else am I? Who am I? So, who are you? And what's one thing that makes you know who you are? So, my brother. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was my brother. So, stay kind.